Yo, what is up guys? It is Small back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about whether you guys should be pulling for the two banners as well as their artifacts that are going to be replacing the Roy Mustang banner and Destina banner. Probably at the time that you are watching this video, these banners are already out, and those banners are going to be for Ran and Lidica. So starting off, let's talk about Ran and talk about whether he is worth pulling for. So here we go guys, this is Ran. Ran is a very powerful PvP unit. You're not going to really use him in PvE that much, but for PvP he's very strong, especially if you like cleaving or winning in 1 or 2 turns. Now his S3 AoE attack that strips 2 buffs and has a chance to inflict stigma for 2 turns and also decrease defense, and this will also give him a skill nullifier so he can actually survive and do more damage after he does his S3. Now this damage will also scale with his speed and also the target speed. So if you're speed contesting with Ran guys, his S3 will actually do super high damage. You can soul burn this as well to ignore effect resist to land that defense break and stigma on a higher chance. Now we have his S2 guys. It is a buff. It is going to be immunity for all allies and also an attack buff for himself. Most people will use this before he S3s because he gets that attack buff, but there are going to be some situations where you don't want to use this. For example, against like Politis or even against like Rimurus. If you're running a Seaside Issaria Cleave or Summertime Issaria Cleave, then you're definitely not going to want to use S2, but for the most part, very good skill. You can pair this with an artifact like Silver Rain and it'll buff another one of your allies as well. Now his S1 guys, single target attack, defense penetration that will also scale with his speed as well. So yeah, Ran does a lot of damage. He's an opening unit. His base stats are going to be super high. It is the highest speed in the game, tied with some other units at 129, making him very fast. The only problem with Ran though guys is even though if he's super strong for cleavers in PvP, whether it be in Guild Wars defense, Guild Wars offense, arena defense, world arena, he is extremely hard to gear. You need really insane speed gear for him to work, and you also need good units built around him, right? Like Summertime Issaria, you know, like APOC Ravi and stuff like that. So is he worth pulling for as a newer player? I definitely think it is worth skipping. When you get to the point you can actually gear him, his banner will probably have already ran again, or even you might have pulled him randomly from a Covenant summon. He's very hard to gear, so I don't really recommend pulling him for newer players. But if you're new, or if you're a mid and late game player and you're looking for a good opener for Cleave, then Ran is a very good option. That's pretty much it for Ran guys. Now let's talk about Lidica. So here we go guys, this is Lidica. I'm not going to talk about her too much because honestly, very easy skip, not that good of a unit. PvE, she's only used in like Abyss to actually CR pushback bosses, as you see with her S3, 100% CR pushback with decreased speed, right? But besides that, you don't really ever use her. Some people like to use her in PvP as a opener because, like I said, her S3 can push back a unit, but I find it very hard to use her because she only works in specific situations because she can only cripple one unit, right? If you're up against a team that has multiple speed contesters, Lidica becomes very useless because she doesn't have a skill that gives her an extra turn really. So not that great of a unit in my opinion. Easy skip. I'm not going to really talk too much about her in depth because even though her skin might be very nice in the form of the, I think it's the Bride one, yeah. Unfortunately, this unit needs another buff. Not that great. Don't want to talk about her too much because kind of will be beating a dead horse. So now let's talk about the artifacts and if any of them are worth purchasing. So this is Ran's artifact guys, Sword of Winter Shadow. Thief exclusive, you're going to see it is a 15% attack buff. And you're also going to see that to make full use of this, you're going to need this to be max limit break at plus 30 because there is a chance to remove souls from the enemy when you use a non-attack skill. And it will only cap at 100% once you get this to plus 30. Now this artifact guys, kind of weird. The ones that, or the thieves that have non-attack skills don't even really want this artifact, right? The two that pop into my head are going to be like Violet. Violet wants Moonlight Dreamblade, doesn't really care about the souls, and Ran also doesn't really care about this because he likes to run Silver Rain to buff an ally that wants attack buff, or even on Sword of Summer Twilight, Village's artifact to, do a lot of damage. So Sword of Winter Shadow guys, easy skip. There might be some very niche situations that you want to use this in, but also you need this at plus 30 for it to work. So in my opinion, this is an easy skip, not worth buying. Now we have Lidica's artifact, Sword of Judgment. You're going to see it is a % chance to attack with a basic skill when the target survives a single attack. just high RNG on this artifact, right? If you actually, use a single target attack and they live, you have a chance to S1 after. A lot of Rangers don't really have that many single target attacks though outside of their S1. Rangers usually have a lot of AoE damage, so it's hard to really say that this is worth it. I wouldn't really recommend this because, Ranger artifacts are already very good. Since Guiding Light is in the game, there's no reason to ever run this over Guiding Light because Sword of Judgment just has way more RNG, and Guiding Light, has a way higher chance for it to work, and also will just give your unit a lot more survivability, which will make them in turn take more turns. So Sword of Judgment, guys, easy to skip. Not really much to say about this week's banners because everything is pretty much a skip unless you really want to cleave with Rand and have good speed gear already. This is a good week to rest with your bookmarks because we do have some good banners coming up in the near future. That being said, I hope this video helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.